Welcome everybody, welcome to the 2025 adidas TERREX Infinite Trails in Gastein. This is your race briefing and we are only about 14 days away from the event you trained hard for all the season. And this race briefing should give you all the important information which are necessary to be a successful competitor. My name is Mike Hamel, I'm your race director, and for the next hour we're going to talk about all the important information. And I structured the race briefing in the way that we have chapters. So on YouTube, you can go on the chapters. For example, if you're a 45K racer, and then you only can go on the chapter 45K race, which is only the course information. And then the rest is covering all the important information. So guys, let's jump into the race briefing right now. Welcome once again. I could start with welcome, hello, servus, grüezi, buongiorno, buenos dias, good day. There's so many people coming from all over the world, and it's in total 1,600 athletes. And what makes me always very proud and happy to see that 43% of you are women. If you compare it to the normal races, it's about a quota of 20 to 25. So girls, come more and spread the word, and we're looking forward to welcome you. And just like for the men, most of the women, or exactly every single woman started last year, was a successful finisher. So girls, great job and keep on going like this. 58 nations are represented in the 2025 Infinite Trials. That is almost half of the globe. We're coming from the north to the south, from the east to the west. 350 volunteers going to be with you on that weekend. And we're not only talking at Infinite Trails about athletes, we're also talking about volunteers. As we say, this is our one community. There's only one community. It's the trail community. It's the Infinite Trails community. We celebrate the sport on that weekend together, wherever you are. If you're on the trails, if you're in the Alpenterme, let's celebrate and have lots of fun on that weekend in September. We are united by summits. And that means also we're giving back. Thank you very much, guys, for doing the donation when you signed up and registered for the 2025 race. And you cannot imagine how much €5 make a difference. And this is our initiative, which is called Plant a Tree. So along the race courses, we have indicated several spots already where we planted more than 300 trees on each spot. And this is where you can see the signs, for example, when you're coming down on the race course from Poserhöhe to the aid station at Grüner Baum. 349 donators this year gives us a total of €1,990, which is 398 trees. We're going to sum them up to 400. And it's my pleasure and honor to hand over a check to one of the members of the Parliament of Salzburg, Hans Schaffetter, which we do in the check over at the start of the team race at Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. To indicate you as a tree donor, we created this green wristband, so everybody has donated the tree will receive during the registration process that green wristband. Everybody has no green wristband, feel bad about it, then you forgot something. It's our responsibility to respect the nature, and the nature is our playground. Respect the animals in their space, respect the protected areas, beware of critical times, and also when you train at your place at home, no headlight in the dark. It disturbs the animals, and that is not good for the sport and is not good for the image of trail running. Check the maps for sanctuaries before you start and leave no trace. Also, thank you very much for your more than 400 donations for the Orange Ticket, which is our community project between the Tuesday Trails community of RMB UTCT and the adidas TERREX Infinite Trails community. We have been able to bring a South African team right now to Infinite Trails, which is Atenkosi, which is his normal name, but everybody knows him in Cape Town only as Ruben. You're going to recognize him immediately because that's going to be the man who's running with a smile from the left to the right. Also, Josh is doing a lot of community work at Tuesday Trails and also on a farm, as well as Shafika. And unfortunately, Shafika, chef, injured herself during the training procedure and had to go under surgery. But luckily, she will be able to come to Infinite Trails and without any crutches. So there was a big disappointment in the team for sure, and that is the reason we thought about who could be a really good replacement for that team. And we came up with Deo Kato. You remember on the awards presentation, we found Deo when he was crossing Greece, but he's not only crossing Greece, he was on his journey, on his marathon from Cape Town to London, where he finished last year before Christmas. And he will be on Thursday evening our special guest on the movie night. So Deo Kato, Josh, and Atenkosi will be TTT Team Ubuntu. Race briefing. Let's dive into the race briefing after our info. It's really important that you understand that all last-minute updates will be provided by the race management via our communication platforms, which is the SMS service. Check your phone number in your profile before the 25th of August, or at latest at the registration. Because if your phone number is wrong, you cannot get the short messages which are important for a withdrawal from the race, whatever happens. Also, social media channels and the website. We also implemented a WhatsApp community, and if you scan the QR code, then you can enter our adidas TERREX Infinite Trades WhatsApp channel and community immediately. Also, there is a lot of FAQs on the website, and if we're not able to answer your questions on the website, then the last chance is to send me an email directly on the racedirector@infinitetrials.com. Also, we're putting in a lot of effort to give you a podcast, and we already have 15 episodes covering almost every single theme which is important to be a successful finisher of Infinite Trials. So I recommend to listen to episode 8, which is called the AIT Hacks. Sonja and myself talking you through the whole registration process about travel, everything. So it's a good podcast to listen to when you're on your travel to Gastein. Also, we have an electronic starter pack, which is our theme, Redeem and Enjoy. There's a lot of information. There's the links in one place. There's also the link for the massage booking, for example. A lot of practical information, but also other goodies and discounts from our partners. That's how it looks like. It's a web-based app. So no need to go onto Apple's store or onto the Google Play Store. So you just open the link which we're going to provide you in about a week's time, 1 week prior to Infinite Trials, in our last newsletter, which is also our last race communication. Let's talk about the schedule. Schedule is we're meeting already on the Thursday evening, if you're already there, with the local meets global local shakeout run, and also at 8 o'clock, as mentioned before, the movie night at the Waldmoserin with special guest Deo Kato. Talking about the shakeout run, in comparison to last year, we skipped the vertical meters, and it's going to be flat along the Gasteiner Ache. We have 3 pace groups, 5 minutes, 5:30, and 6 minutes. So a very, very easy run, half an hour straight on the Gasteiner Ache, U-turn and then back. And we would like to see everybody who is still in the valley on September 4th at 4:30. Friday, we're starting at 9 o'clock with the registration and the check-in for the mandatory equipment. We have a short break as we do need to change shifts. And then we continue from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m. That is your last chance to get in line, and then we close the registration at 9. There's no registration possibility at race day. 4 o'clock, we have the race briefing in English, and at 5 o'clock, the race briefing in German. Watch out and check out our partners at the Expo area, and especially the TERREX booth, with a lot of action happening there. 4 until 7 p.m., it's the famous Marktlauf, which is a 5K run for the adults and the kids race as well, if you bring your kids to Infinite Trials. Saturday, September 6th is your race day. We open at 5 o'clock the Alpentherme for the backdrop off. At 6 o'clock, we have the start for the 60K. 6:30, the start 45K. 7 o'clock, the start for the teams, which is like Loop S, M, and L. 7:30 the start for the 30K, 7:45 the start for the 15K. And remember, we have a finish line cutoff for the teams 60K, 45K, 30K at 8 o'clock. 8:30, we're going to be ready for the legendary and famous award ceremony in the Alpentherme. Sunday, after race, 10 o'clock until 1 p.m., we like to invite you for Celebrate the Sport with Kaiserschmarrn on the top of the Stubnerkogel at 1 p.m. It's going to be the end of the 25 event. So let's talk about the venues. Welcome im Off. That is the theme of Gastein, which is a beautiful valley in the Salzburger Land, and it's right now at the edge of the Nationalpark Hohe Tauern. Every trail, and there is more than 612 kilometers of trail, you can feel every step on the beautiful trails through the natures in that valley. It is a valley which is consisting of 3 different cities. When you enter the valley, it's Dorfgastein, then there's Hofgastein in the middle, Bad Gastein with the famous waterfall in the back, and then if you are in wintersport and you're a skier, then Sportgastein is a place to go, especially when you free ski. Here we are, Bad Hofgastein. That is the race location. That is where the finish line and everything is located. So talking about the village, right now on your right-hand side, you have the Athletes Garden and the Alpentherme, and the right-hand side is your race venue. The race venue is also your pre- and post-race area. It is your expo area, your spectator area, and your start and finish line. We have the registration next to the expo, which is very easy to enter from the right-hand side. The easiest way to go to registration is take a stroll through the expo area, buy some stuff, take part in a couple of raffles or competitions, and then enter for the registration. Race briefing, remember, will be on Friday, 4 and 5 p.m. It's located in the Congress Center, where also the tourism board is located. Entry is right from the front. Backdrop off in the Alpentherme, so the door is going to be open at 5 o'clock, and then you can go to your lockers and get your stuff ready for finish line or after finish line. Then the Athletes Garden we're going to talk about later. We have also the arrival of the shuttle. We're providing you shuttle buses if you stay outside of Bad Hofgastein. Check-in on race day is only possible through the Kurpark, and there's only one entrance possible. Spectators area, beautiful arena where you can sit, where you can hang out. There's food, there's trucks, everything is in the spectator area, which is right on the start and finish line, as well as the expo area. Mandatory equipment. What a bad word for a lot of trail runners. But mandatory equipment is really important. Why do you need mandatory equipment? It is because we want to protect you. You could injure yourself. You could be lying on the ground. It takes a mountain rescue more than 45 minutes to get you there if you are in a remote area. And listen to our podcast and listen to other stories where people can tell you what they have experienced in case like this. It could be that you're getting tired and then your body is getting more cold. When you're in a remote area, we already mentioned, there could be a thunderstorm where you get soaked and you're bloody wet. Or if we need to evacuate you, or if you need to wait for a shuttle and you're soaked wet because after a thunderstorm and then you're getting cold. So, for example, episode 14 of our Infinite Talk, the podcast of Infinite Trails, is covering this special with the mountain awareness. We're talking about thunderstorms, we're talking about mandatory equipment and gear, why it is important. It's useful, and listen to it. It explains to you everything. You're in the alpine terrain. It could happen severe weather conditions immediately. It could be cold, windy, foggy. It could be rainfall, snowfall. The 0-degree limit could drop immediately or in a few hours. There could be thunderstorms in 10 minutes coming over the mountains, and we are prepared for these situations with bad weather courses if we have to announce them. Mandatory equipment is for the team for the 45K, 30K, and 60K now. We're covering the 15K later. And we separate it by the basic equipment, by cold weather, and by hot weather. During the registration process, you have to bring your mandatory equipment and your gear that we can check it. Also, be aware of that we do on a Saturday morning, directly before the start, when you check in, random checks. Have your items in your hand and present them if asked for. And remember also, no cups at the aid station. You need to bring your own foldable cup. Let's talk about the mandatory equipment, which I call safety equipment. Mandatory equipment, we prepared your charts, which are on the website, which you can go through, but we're going to do this. As you can see, there's the hooks. The blue one in the middle is the 15K, which we cater for later. So mandatory equipment basic, that is a flask or a reservoir, at least 0.5 liter. We recommend 1 liter. Then it's your running backpack or vest. It is your waterproof jacket, and don't play around with this one. It is not windproofed, it's a waterproof thing. So if you're asking me and sending me emails and asking, is this jacket waterproof? I don't know. You have to bring the proof. If you don't know, then bring the proof, because how could other people know that it is a waterproof jacket? But I can guarantee if it's like a Gore-Tex membran, is this a Sympatex membran, is it TERREX Rain Ready, whatever you call it, that's going to be a waterproof jacket, not windproofed. Also, long sleeve top and long pants, a headlamp, you don't have to wear it. You just need to have it with you if you are after 4:30. This is, for example, after the cutoff at Böckstein. Whistle, it could be a separate whistle, but also a lot of West have an integrated whistle. Then you need a GPS device or a watch, or if you don't have a GPS device, then it's a printed version of your route map. Mobile phone, ideally, guys, it should be charged, switched on, and the general emergency number, which we're going to show you, should be saved on that device, and make sure that your contract is working in Austria. Emergency equipment, we're not messing around with this one. You need to have your own rescue blanket, 2 compressors, 10 by 10, 4 by 4 inches, 2 gloves, 2 first aid dressings, or a 2 meter of elastic adhesive bandage. Let's talk about an example. Here you see the waterproof jacket. I have my long sleeve top with me, could be cotton, lycra, whatever, and I prefer sleeves. It could be my long pants, or I'm protecting myself already, it's a waterproof pant. So that is the example for combinations of a basic equipment. Let's talk about sleeves. So right now you see a t-shirt, you see sleeves, and a combination of a t-shirt and a sleeve. No, because there's a gap. What we want to see is this. We want to see a t-shirt with sleeves covering your shoulder, and then you can use sleeves or Armlinge, and then that's fine. But on the right-hand side, you see, no, that's shoulder-free. I mean, if you're coming into cold, that you're going to have a cold body. So that is not. Mandatory equipment cold. Same items remain. We're only looking on 4 different items. That is, now we're replacing the pant to the waterproof pant. We're talking about an insulating top and insulating pants. So there is no cotton anymore. And this is like what we want to see. Waterproof pant, insulating top, could be merino, a fleece, insulating pant, merino, and fleece. No cotton. Remember this, because why no cotton? Cotton got soaked in rain. And if it's got soaked, it's never going to dry. And merino is like a fabric which dries automatically. So that is the reason you need to have like a fleece or merino which is warming you. Gloves and beanie. Don't play around with it. A beanie and glove can be lifesaver. And especially if you cover your hands, your whole body will be much warmer than if they expose them to the cold. Mandatory equipment hot. It's a cap. And we recommend at least 1 liter now, or it is at least 1 liter now. We recommend 2 liters, which you need to add to your existing equipment. Race rules are clear. If you're running with poles, you need to bring them back to the finish line. If you start with them, you need to bring them back. You can't hand them over during race, or you can't accept them from another person outside in the middle of the race. So make your decision. Either you start with them and finish with them, or you keep them away. Mandatory equipment basic for the 15K, very, very simple. We don't ask for a lot of things. It is a flask, at least 1 liter. It's a mobile phone charged, switched on, general emergency number saved, and it should be working in Austria. And then for the cold equipment, we're adding that waterproof jacket. Hot, the same. We want to see a cap and not a visor, guys. We're getting this question. Is a visor enough? What do you think? Why is it called a cap? That is a cap. A visor doesn't have a protection on the head. At least 1 liter capacity on your 13K loop. Same rule up here. If you check in with poles, you must carry them until the loop is completed. Emergency concept. We have a general emergency number. So don't dial the normal emergency number, because if you're calling the normal emergency number, police, fire brigade, rescue, whatever, you may upend in a ops center in Vienna. And you're saying it's like, oh, I got a crash, I'm near to the Poserhöhe, it's on the downhill of the 60K. Do you think somebody in an ops center in Vienna has any clue where Gastein is, where the Poserhöhe is, what is the 60K? That is the reason we have our own emergency and ops center. There is the representatives of the rescue, the mountain rescue, fire brigade, and police. And this is the reason we're implementing this number, 066499863290. Save it in your phone in case you need it. And this is the emergency number, and the person is answering you on that phone. He knows exactly what you're talking about. When you say, okay, I'm here at 9.4 kilometers into 30K loop, then we know exactly what we're talking about. If you forgot this number because you are hectic or you crashed and your mobile phone is damaged, this is the reason we put it on the backside as well. If you flip side your bib, then you have the emergency number as well. Call the emergency number if you do not finish. We need to know where you are. If you withdraw from the race, give us a call. If you have a crash, if you're injured, give us a medical clarification, and then we decide if we're sending you a DNF team, if necessary, to bring you back, or if you are capable to walk and you're just tired, then you can take a taxi or the public transport back to the finish line. But there is a DNF team, and there is for sure mountain rescue and rescue. Weather. Weather is important. Weather can change immediately. That's what we talked about. So talking about the possibility of thunderstorms, you are in the Alps. And if you are in the Alps, a thunderstorm can get in 10 minutes over the mountain, where you never thought about. You know, it's not only about gray, dark, black clouds and lightning. It could happen in a valley immediately in 5-10 minutes that a thunderstorm is creating. If you are in a lightning or in a thunderstorm, don't make yourself tall. Go down on your knees, put your foot together that you are very, very small. Don't run away. That is the worst thing you can do, because then you're attracting a lightning and you get struck. If you want to know more, listen to the podcast. Go on the FAQ section on the website, where exactly we explain to you what to do in case of you coming into a thunderstorm. Wildlife encounter can appear as well. You know, there's a lot of cows on the meadows. Keep your distance, stay calm and move slowly, be alert and respect their habitats. A lot of them have kids or small cows, you know, like a calf. So it's a mother, it's just protecting her calf. And this is what you need to respect and to remember. Also, FAQs on the website explaining you exactly what you need to do. Wildlife encounter, there have been in the last couple of years bears in the area, as well wolves, but it's very unlikely that you're going to see a bear and a wolf on race day. Also to check out the FAQs and what to do on the website. Course marking. There's 25 course markers out. There's a great team of our course directors, Sibylle Schild. They're working their ass off to get you guys on race course. And thank you for your comments that this is the best route marking from a lot of events. We're working really hard, and luckily, we also would like to ask you not to take anything as a souvenir with you if you're crossing something, because you're taking a course sign away from another person who may need it. So the signage, we have flags, signs, barrier tape, marking spray, and warning signs. That is, for example, that is the orange markers. Only orange markers are infinite trails, no yellow. Only orange. We have course marking signs, that's the markers. We also mark, for example, obstacles on the course, turnarounds, and this is the signage we're using on all courses. That is your direction, shows by the arrow. Everywhere the arrow points, that is your direction to go. We have a color concept. For the team, it is the orange colors for S, M, and L, and also for the individuals. We have 60K, 45, and 30, it's the green colors, and the 15K is blue. That is the colors you're going to see on the course markers on race course. All courses using the same markers. So let's deep dive into one of the signs. What is this? 60K turns left. As you can see, green, 60K, and the marker pointing to the left side. 45K and L hit straight, pointing your markers straight. Very simple, and this is exactly how the course marking works with signs. The arrow shows you direction, the color, and the word of the course shows you for whom it is. Signs, you know them all from traffic. If you're riding a bicycle, a motorbike, or you're driving a car. Stop. What means stop? Stop means stop. Not running over a street. If you're coming to a road section, you need to stop here and waiting for the clear of your course marshal. Attention means there is something happening, there could be something. Danger means there is something more interesting. Stream crossing, for example. Pay attention, it could be oncoming traffic. A street, a start of a section, and an end of a section. Fully equipped aid station, and we're showing you where the garbage has to be disposed. Information, guys, is definitely the key of everything. So you need to prepare yourself, for example, in our cloud service on the course download page, where we have the race map for you, the GPS tracks, an elevation profile for each of the courses, a trail book summary for all the courses, a race briefing like this race briefing as a PDF, as a video, and everything is available on infinitetrials.com. Go on the section download or hit the arrows. How to prepare for the courses? That is a really good question, and this is what I tried to show you right now with the example of the 60K. First of all, you get the race information, and then you have the profile showing you all the aid station, exactly the kilometers, a longer course description where is everything happening. Then you have a couple of pictures, and then you have your Strava map. On the Strava map, you can scroll down and you can go through the course, and also you can hit one of the buttons, which is, for example, the aid station. You can zoom in into the map. And then, for example, you can hit the segment of the Strava. This, for example, is our Chorus 400 to Apex, where you can win a Chorus watch, which is the former Silver Bullet. You can make you familiar with it. And then also we have the New Run course. And then you can send your GPS track directly to your device. Also, you can do a flyover, for example, here. You start and you see exactly where it is, and let's jump to the Graukogel, which is right now on the Graukogel section, and then running down. So you can play with it, make yourself familiar. And then also we have the new run course visualization. And this is like, it's a POV. We were running all the courses. And for example, on the 60K, you have several video clips with notes. You can see there's a downhill, there's an uphill. You see exactly how it looks like. So you can get more familiar with the race course. And I think this is something which is really great, and use that information and prepare yourself, because what you've seen before, you're going to recognize in the event for sure. And this is just like a couple of examples showing you this course visualization. So that is how you prepare for the courses. And do me a favor, we're putting in a lot of effort to make things like this happen. Take the time. It's about half an hour, but you're gonna love it, and you're gonna have a lot of advantages when you do something like this, and prepare accordingly. In the download section, Trailbook is like this. So it's a summary of profiles, it's the waypoints, exactly where it is, the distances between the waypoints, and also a map. Let's talk about the race courses. There's several mountain and alpine huts along the race courses. For example, the Gamsker Kogelhütte, which is on Loop S, M, and 60K, that is not an official aid station. It's on an altitude of 2,400 meters, which is Europe's highest grass mountain, by the way. And we are not allowed to bring in a helicopter for transport. So we can't bring water there or a power bar, because it's a really strenuous way up to the mountain, to the top. But the hut is providing you water. But keep in mind, it's not official water from us, and it's not bottled water. It is water provided by the staff of the hut. It's rainwater, which is UV disinfected, so it's clean by 99.9%. But keep in mind, there's no power bar nutrition. And please fill up at the Raststätten aid station before you come into Gamsker Kogel. And if you need something, a Coke, whatever you need, then you need to pay for it. And to pay for it, take money with you, because there is no cell phone reception, there is no Apple Pay, there is no Maestro terminal. So if you need something, and I give you the recommendation to take 10 or 15 or 20 euros with you, just in case you need something. Bergfeldalm on the 45K, Loop L and 60K is once again closed. There's nobody there. And there might be a chance that Zittauer Alm, which is a little bit higher on the Loop L and 45K and 60K, may be open. It depends on the weather, but also no aid station. But you can buy something like there, and there could be water provided by the hut out of the spring. Same thing, take money with you in case you need it. Race courses are subject to change. That means it's not the Strava map which is on the website. It is the download section which shows you always the latest course. Because if we need to change the course, then we do it on the website in our download section and not on the Strava course map. Let's talk about Team Loop S. Team Loop S is the smallest loop on Infinite Trails when it comes to the team loops. 21.4 kilometers long, covering 1,855 vertical meters and providing 2 aid stations at Raststätten. Remember, it goes over the mountain, over the top of Gamsker Kogel, but no aid station on the top. And you see the aid stations right here in the center, Raststätten, one on the way up, one on the way down. When you're coming to the Gamsker Kogelhütte, this is also like a course intersection, which we want to explain you now, where the 60K goes straight and you need to go back into the valley. And this is where we say 60K straight and S and M takes right. This is your POV, passing the hat, turning down on the right-hand side, and making your way down. Team Loop M, 34.9 Ks, 2,726 meters of vertical, 5 aid stations. And here is your 24.3, because you're also going over Gamska Kogel. So you have the same intersection as we've seen before. And here you turn right, not straight, that is the 60 loop. So what is important for the loop M as well? First of all, if we just go back, you first run the 15K loop, and then you're covering the loop S. So it's a combination between 15K and the loop M. So you go in once through the finish line. So do me a favor and don't run into the finish line troop. Remember, when you're coming from the 15K, you still have to go up to the mountain. Team loop L, 42.2, 31.46 vertical meters, 5 aid stations. On the start, you need to go right-hand side where the 60K takes straight. And then after 5.2 kilometers, you're coming to a danger section. Remember, danger could be a water crossing. Sometimes this is a small river which is rising really high, and expect to get your feet wet. That it's how it looks like. We're putting some wood over, but as you can see, it could be wet. 14.9, that is the middle station of the Graukogel. This is where you need to turn right, 60K goes up, and don't run down on the gravel road. You need to go down on the beautiful trail down to Bad Gastein. This is how it looks like. 60K goes up, and 45K and the R goes down. It looks complicated, but it isn't. It's the or signage in Bad Gastein, but here is where you're coming down. Here, they're going to be a photographer, so keep smiling. That is the beautiful, world-famous Bad Gasteiner Wasserfall. Here is your aid station in the Merangarten, and here is your chorus 400 to Apex Silver Bullets Strava segment, where we're talking about later. Also, after 22.3 kilometers, you're coming down to a road section where you need to cross. That is a road which is frequent traffic, so you need to stop as mentioned. There will be barricades stopping you, and there is a former policeman, so don't play around with him. After he gives you the sign, you can cross. Also another intersection after 37.5, that is the Angertal crossing. You're coming on the road, you take your left and you stay on the left. You're not running over the road. You're running on the left for 200 meters, and then there is another course marshal taking you to the right side. That's how it looks like. Stay on the left until you're coming to that intersection in a few seconds. Right now, there are going to be course marshals, and here you go, and this is your last part of the course. There's a cutoff for Loop L at 4:30 at the aid station in Böckstein. Remember, 4:30 is the headlight. You need to have it with you. You don't have to wear it, but you need to have it with you. 5:30, Obere Zittrauer Alm. If you are crossing that point later, you're not allowed to go to the Tischkogel and Stubner Kogel. At 6 o'clock, the aid station will be closing, and the cutoff will be at Stubner Kogel. So if you are beyond 5:30, but you are beyond 6:30, 6 o'clock on Stubner Kogel, we don't let you go on Tischkogel. You take the shortcut. So if you're coming later than 5:30 on the Oberzittrauer Alm, you take the shortcut directly to the middle station and take the gondola down. Last cable car going down is 7 o'clock, and the finish line closes at 8. 15K, very simple, beautiful course, 13.6 kilometers, not a walk in the park with 871 vertical meters and one aid station at the Gabelhütte. 30K, beautiful course for a lot of people, the best course in Infinite Trials. 30.6 kilometers long, almost 1900 in total, 3 aid stations, and we have a cutoff. A cutoff for the aid station at Casa Ebenbahn, which is right here in the center where I have my mouse. And there is the same road crossing, but right now from a different direction. Right now you're running down, crossing the street and you stay on the right-hand side. So that is your first crossing, you're coming down here, there will be a course marshal getting you over the street, and then you keep going on the right-hand side. Very, very, very simple. You can see that is a very, very tired runner already. So let's talk about the Alpine section, which is Keilinger Steig. It's a beautiful section. There's sometimes a lot of water, so expect for the wet section as well. And there's a reason that there is ropes on the side, because the ropes are for you to hold on. So make use of these things, which can save your life as well. Cutoff, as mentioned before, 1 o'clock at the top station of the Kaiser-Ebenbahn, which is on the Ochsenriedel. After the aid station, the fun starts with crossing over Mauskar-Spitze, beautiful mountain. And then there's another alpine section ahead of you. You can see there's ropes, ski ropes again. It looks dramatic, but it isn't. It's a normal hiking path. But there's several sections like this. Just take caution and prepare mentally on this thing. 45K. We are in the 45K, which is the same as Loop L, 42.2, 3:1:46 vertical, 5 aid stations. Same after the start, you have the intersection between 60 and the Loop L and Loop 45K. After 5.2, you go into the Gardauner Schlucht, which is our water crossing, sometimes a small river, which is rising really high. Expect to get your feet wet, but we're putting some wooden boards into it to get you over this river. Coming back to 14.9, that is your middle station of the Graukugel gondola, and this is where you need to go downhill, beautiful forest trail into the heart of Bad Gastein. Here again, 60 goes up to the mountain, to the Graukugel, and you turn right and going down to Bad Gastein. Bad Gastein City Loop, a lot of course marshals because there is traffic. And as well, here is your famous Bad Gastein waterfall. And there is a photo spot, so keep always on smiling when you're coming into the city. Your aid station at Merangarten, your chorus 400 to Apex Silver Bullet Strava segment where you can win a watch. Also, 22.3 kilometers into the race, you have your Böckstein road crossing. You need to stop there, and this is your POV. You're coming down. Last part, before you're crossing, there will be barricades. There will be a course marshal, former policeman, telling you when you are safe to cross, and then you can continue. Another crossing, 37.5. In the Angertal, you're coming from that road, you stay on the left, you're not crossing, you stay on the left, you're running until you're coming to the next intersection where another course marshal will guide you over the road, and then you are almost at the finish line. Cutoff for the loop 45K is 4:30, the aid station in Böckstein. Remember to bring your headlight with you. You won't be able, and I will be there and controlling you if you leave there around 4 o'clock. 5:30, Obere Zitrauer Alm. Also, if you're coming later, you need to take the shortcut to the middle station of the gondola. 6 o'clock, the aid station at Stubnerkogel, and everybody coming after 6 needs to take the gondola with me down, and the latest one is at 7 o'clock, and the finish line closest at 8. 60K. That is a monster. 60K, 5,200 vertical meters, 8 aid station, and get familiar with the aid station. Especially fill up at Röststetten, because you know there is no aid station on the top of the mountain for Gamskakogel. So after the start intersection, you need to keep straight on the 60. Then after 10.8 kilometers, you're coming to that intersection where you go straight, where the other courses turn right. And this is how it looks like. 2,400 meters high, and then you continue and focus the cross in the back. Here we go, 16.8 kilometers, and then you're coming to your next intersection, which is the middle station at Graukogel station. This is where you need to go uphill. There have been athletes who were running straight and missed the whole mountain. So please, as a 60K runner, remember, if you're coming to the middle station, you need to go uphill, and that is a long, long, long uphill. With 2 aid stations, one on the way to Graukogel and one from the back from Graukogel. After 28.2 kilometers, you're coming to a start of a section which is our no pole zone. Here, you need to put your poles away because it is a danger part on the course where you need your feet and the hands for climbing. This is exactly on the Palfner Scharte where you see that sign. And please do us a favor and put them away, otherwise we have to disqualify you. The mountain rescue provides ropes for safety. It is not a really dangerous section, but it needs attention of you. And this is how it looks like. You can see that is very, very rough terrain where you need your hands. And if you're running this part with sticks, you won't be happy. A clear sign with, it's called end of section, going to show you exactly where you can take your poles out again. Then you're coming down, and then you're taking straight the way down to Bad Gastein, and it's a beautiful city loop. And here there's going to be a photo service for you with a Sportograph at the place, which is the world famous waterfall of Bad Gastein. Aid station in the Merangarten, and your chorus 400 to Apex Silver Bullet Strava segment. You have a road crossing after 40.2 kilometers in Böckstein. Remember, the stop signs means you need to stop. You're coming down, and then there will be barricades, a course marshal, which is a former policeman, and after he cleared it, you can cross. And then you are almost at the next aid station. Also, after 55.4, you have another road crossing after your aid station again at Angertal. You're coming out of this road. You keep on the left side. You're not crossing the road. You keep on the left side, running until you reach the next intersection. The course marshal going to get you over the road, and then you're almost in the finish line. Cutoff for 60K, 4:30, aid station in Böckstein, which is your 39.3 kilometers. 4:30, remember you need to have your headlight with you. 5:30, there's the cutoff at Obere Zittrauer Alm. If you miss this cutoff, you can take the gondola and the shortcut to the gondola middle station of Stubner Kogel. Also, you need to be on the top station of Stubner Kogel at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, last cable car going down. For you guys who are spoiler for Strava segments, we have on each of the courses some special Strava segments: Beastly Rise, Flow Trails, Forest Gum, Graukogel Crest, Heartbreak Hill, Pain Peak, and the course 400 to Apex. That is a section which is on the Silver Bullet. After you're refueled on the Merangarten, it's going to be a very, very steep part of the course, only 400 meters long. And you can push yourself to the limit, and you can win for the fastest man and the fastest woman. You can win a course Apex watch. That's how it looks like: 400 meters long, 64 vertical meters. And here's our best list. So if you want to go for an Apex course Apex watch, that is the way how to do it. Jenny Romanovsky, for example, was last year one of the fastest women in the race and in total of the whole Strava segment best list. In case there is bad weather, we are prepared. We have bad weather courses, which we're going to announce. And bad weather is only announced by myself, the race director. If I do not an announcement on bad weather, there will be no bad weather. So that is really important to understand for spreading rumors. There is no bad weather which is not announced by the race director. In case we have on the website and in our download section, We have the trail book for bad weather, don't mix it up. There's all the vertical profiles are gray to separate them from the normal ones. And you can go through them and get familiar with the bad weather courses as well. But you can see on the vertical meters and on the distance, we tried to keep them the same as the normal courses. So for each of the courses, we have bad weather courses. Let's talk about aid station. Let's talk about the fuel to get high power. 11 aid stations along the 7 race courses. Remember, no cups provided at an aid station. Bring your own foldable cup. All aid stations offer a full service, including drinks, food, and power bar sports nutrition. No self-service. Staff will hand over your items. You're not taking your hands into something, so they're going to present you. Crewing is only allowed in the area of an aid station. Here are the aid stations. Simple with the color codes. You can see them, how many are on the courses, where they are located, so get familiar with them, get them into your GPS watches, whatever you do. We're not talking in detail. That is the aid station, how it looks like. We have each aid station is the same, so it's a unified system. The tables are separated by color codes. Blue is water, yellow is power bar, green is food, and red is Coke and, for example, hot drinks. Always in the running direction, you enter first into water, then into sports nutrition, then into food, and then into Coke or into hot drinks. The drinks we're providing is Gasteiner water still, power bar ISO active, Coke, and if it's cold, we have tea and soup. Power bar sports nutrition with Energize, power gels, and power gel shots. Then power gel smoothie, natural energy bars, natural protein, and true protein. And here's a full list which products are vegan and not vegan. So I think if you're a vegan, you have a huge variety still to grab from the sports nutrition bar. At the aid station, we're providing food like apples, oranges, bananas, watermelon, and cucumber. And then we have a sweet and salty snacks bar with mini pretzels, peanuts, cracker, which are gluten-free, manna waffles, Pringles, and salt. We separate the garbage at the aid station. So we have bio-waste, residual waste, composite plastic materials in can. And remember, littering on race course is a DQ. So don't do this, because we need to do that in form of a DQ. The start number. Your start number, you have a start number in front and the back. It must be worn at any time. Do not cut any start numbers. Here's your race bib, for example, for the team or whatever. So it has your race number and has the color of your own distance. And this is your bib on the back, which holds only the number and the loop. So race numbers must be visible at all times, must be placed on your front, on your running backpack or vest, or do not cover them with a jacket. So let's have a look. Loop S. You see on the right side, there's the S, the bib number, your name, and your team name. And this is how your start number looks on your back. That is your full team. Don't mix them up as you do normally. S is loop S, M is loop M, L is loop L. Same thing for the back. Individual, same procedure. You have the 15K in blue, then the green colors for 30, 45, and 60. Same procedure as we see. Okay, it's race procedure already. So if you are staying outside of Bad Hofgastein, for example in Dorfgastein or in Bad Gastein, we provide a bus shuttle service, which is public transport, and you can use that public transport with your guest mobility ticket if you are an overnight stay. If you booked a hotel legally, then you can travel for free to Bad Gastein, Dorfgastein, Hofgastein, and also within the valley for free. So this is the bus shuttle for Dorfgastein and for Bad Gastein. And you can register for that shuttle, but you need to register, take the QR code, until Friday, September 5th, until 3 o'clock. So, because we need to know how many people and how big the bus needs to be to provide. So, race day, back drop off, as you remember, in the Alpenthermal. Here you see the arrival of the shuttle bus, the check-in on race day, and the start line. What do I need to bring? For the check-in, I need to bring my wristband on. We're going to give you the wristband after mandatory check-in. Don't take it off, then you can forget it. And we do random mandatory equipment control on the fly. Remember, check-in on race day is only possible at this gate. No jumping over the fence, no coming from here, no back. Only there's one entrance which is clearly marked for race day. We have a pre-start area where we're getting to you to line up. If you're a team, stay together as a team, line up. It's a first come, first serve base, and estimate your speed. Probably when you're not the fastest runner, you don't want to be standing in the front row. Then the start, move to the start line. We want the team members in one row because we want this fantastic team picture. And we have a staggered start. That means every 5 seconds we're sending a team off. That is like 1, 1, 1. It's not a mass start in the team. So all individuals is a mass start, but in the team race we have a staggered start, and it looks fantastic. This is your time schedule. Get familiar with the time schedules. We detailed them exactly. So if you're a 60K runner, this is your schedule. For the other ones as well. And here is the visualization. 5 o'clock. Kurpark is open for check-in. So that is the area where you can hang around at 5 o'clock. At 5:30, you can move to the pre-start area, which is on the other side of the race course. And the 45K can move in. 6 o'clock. 60K is on the start line. 45K is in the pre-start. And the teams are already moving in for the next section. 6:30, 45K start, teams are ready, 30K moves into the pre-start area or into the check-in area, and that's going to be full packed with almost 500 athletes. Then 7 o'clock, team starting, 30K is ready, 15K is entering the check-in. And then 7:30, 30K starts, 15K is ready at the pre-start, and your last mass start, 7:45 with 15K. After finish area, we have a quick stop, which we call pick and run. There will be adidas shoe care area where Defense gonna set up a shoe cleaning machine where you can get your shoes cleaned, but also they offer a protection service on the Friday at the TERREX booth, so see them there as well. Then you can pick up your TERREX finisher shirt, and if you need medical assistance, then there is the rescue team as well. After race, first of all, probably you want to check your results, leaderboard, tracking if you're still looking for friends. That is on the main website, infinitetrails.com. Also on the result page, you can see your results, and there it is, that is your certificate. See that? That is your certificate where everything going to be printed. So you can print this out at home. And then also for competitor photos, individual shots, an overall summary of greatest shots on that day. And if you go on the Sportograph website or on this link, then you can order your personal Sportograph package. Athletes Garden, that is your area which is reserved and exclusively for you guys, and there's only trail runners and companions. So in the Athletes Garden, we're going to provide you a food buffet, and the food buffet, you need your perforated voucher with you, which is on the Startnumber. So don't take it off before the race, then you cannot forget it. So there you see, there's the voucher for the finishing buffet as well for Augustine Infinity can. This is in the main restaurant. In front of the restaurant, we have the adidas TERREX recovery area, make use of it. There is like reboots, there is black rolls, there's fascia guns, there is ice fuzz with ice cold water for recovery. If you want to hear more, check out the podcast for recovery, which is our episode 13. Then we have the Edelweiss beer booth and anti-alcoholic drinks. Then Chorus is providing you a chill out area. And then we have the reload and massage area, which is a little bit outside. So you need to follow some markers. There is a free complimentary massage for the teams and the 30K, 45K, and 60K. No 15K. No 15K massage. Book your slot via the no-queue, which is provided through the event bags or through the website. And from 1 p.m., the massage service will be open. There's 18 massage therapists waiting for you guys. That is your massage markers. You are familiar with the course signs, so we thought it's the easiest one to get you the same markers for massage. Please do us a favor. Shower before you go for a massage. It's a 10 minutes walk within the Alpentherme from the lockers. So prepare this as well. And this is the whole sauna area, which is insane. And Alpentherme is well known for their special sauna infusions. So I think it's 4 o'clock a musical show, 5 o'clock a pizza show, and 1900 at 7 o'clock the Viking show. We created a supporter bib number this year. So with very, very limited space for supporters, we offer you a supporter package, which is a first come, first serve. It's 59 euros, including the food, and you can buy it on the registration day. But remember, there are going to be only 25 supporter items. So if you want to bring your family, that is the only chance to get them in. And with this amount of races we have this year, we're coming to the limit and capacity of the Alpentherme for safety. So, but we understand, and if you want to bring your family, then you have to buy a ticket by 59 euros. The entry fee is 48 euros in the Alpentherme normally, and you're getting the food package, which every competitor gets on top. Award ceremony at the evening, flower award at finish line for the 3 top individuals. Then at 8:30 in the main pool area, big bam, community award, the first Salzburg team, first local team, top 3 of each categories of the 15K, 30K, 45K, and the 60K. And then let's party. That's what we do. Celebrate the sport from 6 until 11 in the main pool area. Bring your swimwear. If you don't want to bring your swimwear and you don't feel, I want to go into the water, you can do this also from the chill out zone, which is on the stage right-hand side. Live music with Manuel Burger. You love him. He's going to be out on the pool outside. And our famous DJs, DJ Chainsaw and DJ Zambuca on the turntables. If you're still in party mode, you can do that. Celebrate the sport from 11 o'clock until open end in the Weidmoserin, which is located in the cable car down station. You already know from the movie night on Thursday, or opposite side of the road, just 50 meters away, celebrate the sport in the Berglift, also a pizzeria where you still need food. Sunday, as we said, we want to celebrate with Kaiserschmarrn. We'd like to invite you, don't forget your wristband and your Kaiserschmarrn voucher. There is also vegan Kaiserschmarrn on the top. If you are a gluten-free person, then you can buy a salad or whatever you want. It's a great happening with a lot of people, and it's amazing. From the top, you can see the whole panoramic view. You can see all the race courses the day before you were running. Also for travel, we have the guest mobility ticket. So if you book a hotel room, then your host going to offer you the guest mobility ticket. That means free transport in the district of Salzburg for arrival and departure, and also public transport within the week. So it's a great thing, thanks to Salzburg Verkehr and the government of Salzburg providing this to every single tourist since May this year. Here's more information about it. There's also the Google Maps, and there's your bus stations telling you from where to leave if you want to go for the Kaiserschmarrn party. Expo area, great stuff, test and try, heat press, print gun. You can personalize a lot of items, special offers, the famous TERREX waffles, the meet and greet with one team, and also if you are ready for a treadmill competition, TERREX likes to see you on that booth, also with Adidas eyewear and Adidas care products. Also, we have Adidas shoe care, as mentioned before. Donate a tree. You can still buy trees if you are still feeling bad that you didn't bought one. So you can buy TERREX stuff and Leki at the Fly Sports Store, which is right in the Expo. Chorus is there. We have a catering truck with vegan food, so you see there's a lot of things. Once again, Marktlauf, kids race, and the 5K adults race between 4 and 7. Next stop, registration. We're almost through. Registration day. It is, remember, in the Kursaal on your right-hand side. And this is the traffic light. So expect green light from 9 to 12, from 1 to 3. It's going to be a little bit of waiting, and it's going to be packed between 3 and 8 p.m. So if you want to arrange your travel, I think then you know exactly what is the best time to go. At the registration, you're going to see an athlete's ID. This is our wristband. Don't take it off. Orange is the athlete's band for the teams and all the individuals except the 15K. 15K gonna get one in blue. What to bring? You need to bring a 10 euro bank note. It is cash only. In German, nur Bares ist Wahres. So you need to bring this because that is your deposit, which you're gonna get back when you leave the Alpentherme for your Alpentherme transponder. So if you pay with Apple Pay, we could do this, but it wouldn't help you when you go out. Then you're not getting your 10 euros back. That is the reason, no credit card, no Apple Pay, no Maestro. It is only a cash 10 euro banknote, and you guys, I think 98% were doing last year pretty good. Mandatory equipment you need to bring your liability form and your medical form. If you want to pick up for others, you can do that. Then you need to fill out an authorization form, which is on the download section as well in our website. The athlete will not get the wristband because he will only receive the wristband after the mandatory check-in in the morning between 5 and 5:30. So if you are a 15K runner and you're only starting at 7:45, you need to get up early because that is the only time of the day where you can present your mandatory equipment to the team, because you can imagine it's going to be very, very busy for the rest of the day. You can't register without mandatory equipment. You cannot register without a 10 euro bill cash. A printed and filled out medical form, printed and filled out liability form, or if you need to have an authorization form. I'm stressing this because if you don't have it, you're not racing, you're not registered, and you need to organize something in Castine. And you don't want this because you already been on the desk, and then if you don't have that forms, you need to go back in line. So there will be a race briefing on site where we're giving you the latest information, which will be at 4 p.m. in the Congress Center for all English-speaking competitors and 5 p.m. for all German competitors. Please do us a favor. The English one is only for the non-German speaking, and the 5 o'clock is for the German one. Don't go, if you are a German, to the English one because there's limit capacity, and that would be unfair for the other people. Spectators, if you want to bring your party with you, we have a spectator website which you can scan on the QR code. Remember, you have a free public transport with the guest mobility ticket, and there's also a Wanderschaukel ticket, which is, I'm going to explain in a second. We also create some ETA cards for you, then you can see when they approach on what aid station, on what course. And then we talked about Benzinfreitage. So if you are a spectator and coming from Salzburg, whatever you're coming from, and you're only a day visitor, on that day, there is the day of the sport in the Salzburg region. That means you also can go on public transport all day for free, but only on September 6th. That is only because it's the day of the sport. So Wanderschaukel ticket that is your yellow lines in that map. That is the gondolas in the Gastein Valley. Believe it or not, you can go right from the start to the Schlossalm. Then you can go up to the top station, then do a beautiful hike to the Casa Eben. And then from Casa Eben, you go down on the gondola, you go up on the other side, you go to Stubnerkogel, then you can go down Stubnerkogel, and then you can walk through the Gastein, go over to Graukogel, hit the gondola to Graukogel, and then back. And this everything, I think, is less than 30 euros. If you booking online, that is the thing. Also, we have the information on the website. So share your experience. Infinite Trails is our handle. Visit Gastein and adidas TERREX. We're united by summits and celebrate the sport, which are our handles in social media. If you haven't signed up for the Strava Club of adidas TERREX Infinite Trails, do it now. You can check out the race courses. You can check out the segments, for example, the 400 to Apex chorus segment at the Silver Bullet in Bad Gastein. We're almost finished with our race briefing. The only thing I can say right now is, guys, stay healthy, have a safe travel to Gastein, and I'm really looking forward to welcome you, everybody, on the start line. On Monday, we're launching another podcast, which is called Health First. It tells you if you're not feeling well in front of Infinite Trails, should you start or not to start. Listen to the podcast with Dr. Gundolf Schüttfort. Thank you guys for listening. Hope it was interesting for you and we covered everything. See you in Gastein. Safe travels.